Good morning, everybody. Merry Christmas to you all. Appreciate you guys all for being here. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful Christmas and having some good time off with your family and friends. So appreciate you guys all for being here. I am not going to be around tonight, which is why I'm streaming now. And Panda was nice enough to do a raid for me. I definitely appreciate that. 139 people in here. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And looks like still maybe growing a bit. Anyway, we'll talk about a few things today and hopefully a lot of AMA. Might go a little bit longer today. We'll see how things go. So one of the things, well, here, let me do an intro and I will try to keep this quick. I'm going to announce like 30 people and that's it because there's a lot of people here. So got to announce Aragorn Strider for being the first one here. Crypto Tito, Mike the Miner, Geek of All Trades, Black Sails, The Pirate, Whale Tail Mining, DNA Tech, Gaming with Smokey Dan, who says Sunflower Mama, Merry Christmas to you as well. Son of a Rabbage, Black Sails, Oval Board Tech, Integra Guy, Kirk Solar, Enzo, 4J, Crypto Bedell, D Miners, Bell Miner, Marco Fabriz, the Mining King, and I have a little surprise for you in case you don't recognize that behind me. Tains, good to see you, sir. Open M.2, not sure how you'd pronounce that, but Miner Joel, Red Panda Mining is here. The Toxic Miner, Travelers Travels, Lord Wolf, Green Hash, Diesel 846, have to announce him since he had a funny comment in there. Na City, SJO Coco, Tim I Am Crypto, T Gig, and Kaspa Doge AI. I'm gonna stop it there because Automatic Beats because he is a regular, and DJ Mines. We'll leave it at DJ Mines. Pretty sure I said Geek of All Trades already, and Magic Lucky, and Travelers Travels. Anyway, all right. All right, now let me catch my breath a bit here. Anyway, good to see you all. Good to see you all. Well, one thing I do have to show you, because I know that Mining King showed his off, but Sunflower Mama is very firm in stating that she got this before Mining King got his. So I got this cool little gift this year. My very own Funko Pop. And not only that, if you look really closely, Sunflower Mama painted the plaid. Because the one she was going to get was like a red plaid. They had it, and then they ran out of it, like just as she was about to order. So she got that one, and so I should put a poll, like, should I take it out of the box or should I not take it out of the box? And Geek, I did see your message. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. The next article I'm going to bring up, the fact that the word you just used. Anyway, the poll is, should I take it out of the box or should I leave it in the box? I'm thinking take it out of the box, but all right, start a poll. Funko in or out of the box? In, out. All right. Curious what everybody thinks. I'm thinking out of the box because in the background, it'll show up. But if it's in the box, it's like glare and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, we'll see what everybody says. Who's in is currently winning. It is not going to be a collector's item. So yeah, I'm not so worried about that. The other thing is I did get a new plaid. If anybody noticed, my other pink one was pink and blue. This one's pink and black. So I got a new flannel. And then I also got like rollerblade wheels for my office chair, as well as Sunflower Mama's office chair. So yes, Merry Christmas to everyone. And hope you guys all got what you were wishing for on Christmas. So let's get into the articles I wanted to go over. Hopefully, Sunflower Mama will help me keep up with the chat, since it'll probably be flying a little bit more than usual today. But let me bring up the screen, and I had to post this one. I absolutely had to post this one. All right, share. There it is. 2023 year in review. Crypto goes bonkers. And you notice that they put bonk in there because that's partially talked about in the article. But I thought it was a pretty interesting article in what they talked about. So there's a number of different things, and I thought this was kind of interesting. You know, Warren Buffett's, you know, really smart guy. He did extremely well with finance, but obviously he's against crypto. So what gives you opportunity is other people doing dumb things. I would say there's been a great increase in the number of people doing dumb things. And that's not wrong. It's just with the way he references it, I think he thinks everything crypto is dumb. I think there's certain things in crypto that are kind of dumb, but they're trends that aren't going to change. So why fight it? Anyway, going forward. So I'm trying to think if they didn't. Okay, they didn't do that. So let me go over a few things here. What was that? Oh, sorry. All right, fine. Let me see if I can do dark mode on this website. I don't see dark mode on here. Shoot. Do you really want me to take the time? It is noon, people. It's not like it's nighttime. Are you guys all in like your cellar or something? There's no dark mode on here, people. I don't know what to tell you. So do you guys want me to take the time to get a extension so that it goes into dark mode? Is that what you want? What was that? Oh, okay, fair enough. Gaming with Smoky Dan. All right, let me see. Extensions. I always forget where these are. There they are. Manage extensions. I swear I did have a dark mode in here somewhere. Except I may have taken it out. Let me see. Dark mode. All right, it probably wants me to go to Chrome Web Store. Yeah, which is not in dark mode. Dark mode. Which one of these should I use? DJ, which one of these should I use? Dark Reader? All right, let me go back and do Dark Reader. Add to Chrome. Add extension. All right. All right. Hopefully, I think I didn't have anything in there. So, okay, so it says it's on. So let me go back and see if I can. Ah, there you go. Are you happy now? I'm sure you are. Okay. All right. I know. I see. DJ Mine says Dark Reader is wonderful. Okay. Well, let me do this a bit. There we go. It's a little bit bigger. So a couple of things said. They do an analogy of that there's been research that says that actually the building up of going on a trip and planning a trip is actually better than the actual trip itself. Like it's the excitement about it. That was kind of like this year, and the fact that the first 3 quarters were spent dealing with all the fallout from 2022, and it wasn't fun. You guys all know the first 3 quarters were not fun, but the final quarter has been a lot of fun. Anyway, so but the final quarter of the year was spent in blissful anticipation of a spot coin ETF, Solana inspired high note, and then of course the anticipation of the halving that isn't really mentioned here. They also talk about the year of bonk, a lot of different things. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So it's been that anticipation of 2024 that has led to this little run in fourth quarter of 2023. And it is not a bull run. We're not in the bull run, people. We have not reached all-time highs yet. that's when we get into the bull run. That's when we get crazy gains. So we're only at the beginning. There was also a bunch of airdrops that I had no idea was even going on. So it definitely, DeFi has not died completely. And then this is kind of what I thought was interesting as far as the grade goes. So the effort of the crypto community itself in developing and all that kind of stuff was for the devs who kept building. And we know so many projects, so many new projects as well as existing projects that came out and kept building along the way. So that's been awesome to see, because that's only going to lead to better and greater things in the future. Attendance for everyone still showing up at the lows. He gives it an A. I give it a B minus, just because we're looking at it from the miners' perspective. A lot of the miners disappeared. I mean, look, you look at how many miners there were with Ethereum, and once Ethereum went away, a lot of the miners went away. There was huge sellouts of farms, all that kind of stuff. So I'll give that a B minus. Kudos to all of you that stayed here during the hard times. I think that's been good and just built the community even more. So appreciate you guys all for being here. Working with others for Bitcoin, showing surprising flexibility. Overboard Tech says, I don't know anything after the bottom is bull to me. About a year into it from my incorrect perspective. Yeah, it's just terminology. That's all that is. Bull run supposedly is, and yes, supposedly is when you hit all-time highs and then keep going. That's what they say is the bull run. But again, bull market versus bull run, I think, is probably, so I'd say we're in a bull market right now from the lows that we were in. Working with others for Bitcoin, showing surprising flexibility. Yeah, but ordinals, is that really a good thing? That's debatable. They're not going anywhere. But Team DJ Mine says C minus. 90% of the people left. I give it a B minus because I'm trying to balance it from the crypto community as a whole. Most of the people, I should say most, a lot of the people didn't leave. It's just the miners that in more numbers went away. So I'm kind of trying to balance the two. So anyway, but appreciate it. Gosh, I should do one of those boards that DJ did and be like, where do you guys think it should be? But I just thought of that now, so a little too late for that. Maybe I'll do that one in my next stream. We'll see. Or maybe DJ, that's an idea for you. You can do it on your next stream. I don't. You're not stealing the idea. I just gave you permission to use it if you want. Listening skills, B minus for not fixing the user experience. Yeah, this is hurting mass adoption in the fact that user experience is still somewhat complicated. I mean, it is, crypto is complicated and people aren't familiar with it. So kudos to Flux for trying to make it as easy as possible. But overall, I would say that that's the next thing, is achieving mass adoption. Is a D. There's still no sign of it. Certainly the ETFs, the spot ETFs, could lead to more adoption. That would be very, very interesting to see. So final grade that this guy gives it is B plus. So I don't know. I just thought this was a really interesting article. And of course, with the title being bonkers, with the way that Chump Change quoted me about Kaspa's hash rate going bonkers, I just thought that was pretty funny, and I had to show this article. But anyway, check it out. This is a great website, actually. I just found it today. Maybe you guys had already known about it, but blockworks.co. It has a lot of really good perspective or editorial articles. So there's a couple more that I'll be going through today. I found them really, really interesting and insightful. So this is the other thing I really liked about this article. The 2023 crypto learnings. Bitcoin is definitely going to make it. Well, I think we already all thought that, so I didn't think that was necessarily so insightful. But the craze for ordinals may pass, but 2023 at least shows how little it takes to solve Bitcoin's long-term security issue. So thought that was interesting. Zero is no longer on the table for OG crypto. And I thought this was really interesting. Ethereum isn't definitely going to make it. There's a lot of other smart contract platforms out there that are gaining ground that are doing really well, and they got to be taking some of the market share away, at least the inevitable market share from smart contracts away from Ethereum. I can't say I hate that. At the start of the year, investing in ETH was considered a way to index crypto because whatever happened in crypto was expected to happen to Ethereum. Now, DeFi is happening on Solana, NFTs are happening on Bitcoin and everything else, and might soon be happening on something like Celestia or Celestia. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I thought that was kind of interesting. This is a new project that's still in testnet, but something to keep an eye on. I actually did a little bit of a going down the rabbit hole on this one. It's another node project. So I thought that was really interesting. Unfortunately, almost every node requires 1 gig up and down. So that is going to be more of a data center type of node. But anyway, I thought this was interesting in this broad article that a product in testnet is being brought up. So anyway, something to keep an eye on. I'll probably bring that up in a future live stream or video later on. And Ethereum probably will make it anyway, but it's no longer a sure thing. I mean, it's going to make it. The question is it going to see the same tremendous gains as even just Bitcoin? Will Ethereum, overtake Bitcoin or increase in Bitcoin or decrease Bitcoin dominance against it? I think that is definitely in question. Tether has the money. We still don't have a proper audit, but Tether truthers have been silenced in 2023. Tether is no longer an existential risk to crypto. Yeah, certainly Tether and its lawsuit against the SEC and their win against the SEC was a huge win for crypto in 2023. And I think that's awesome. And that kind of leads into the next thing I'm going to bring up in the next tab. And people don't care much about decentralization. It does seem that way because when you're really looking at proof of stake projects, the general public is viewing proof of stake as better than proof of work. Obviously, proof of stake is going to be more centralized. And the fact that you have, project teams, more like companies running these projects to drive them in the correct direction, whether it be Cardano or Flux or even Ethereum, they are somewhat centralized in their decision making. So I found that interesting. Although Ethereum will tell you that they're not centralized, even though, but everybody else can vote. Yeah, I'm not buying that. We all know who pulls the strings there. And people care a lot about maintaining pegs, and this has to do with the stablecoin market. I know. Do you guys remember there was a banking crisis at the beginning of the year? That seems like eons ago at this point. But yeah, it depegged the stable coins as a result. So yeah, people do care a lot about that. Culture matters. There was no reason for developers to stick with Solana at the start of the year, but they did, and crypto is already reaping the rewards. So culture within a project and within a community is really, really important. And I think the fact that meme coins or community coins are reaping benefits, I think that shows a lot. Geek of All Trade says, okay, off to see the fam. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. It says it right there. Okay, off to see fam. Merry Cryptmas. Sorry. Happy hodl days.
Exactly.
Sorry. See how that works? Have you guys ever seen, sorry, going off on a tangent. You guys ever seen those postings where it's like, can you read this? And the first and the last letter are correct, and all the letters in between are the right letters, but they're all mixed up, and you can still read it. That's what I just did right there. Anyway, just thought that was interesting. Right. So we're still in the infrastructure phase. I mean, we're still at the beginning phases of crypto. Basic infrastructure questions, level twos, data availability, modular versus monolithic remain unsolved, or at least being worked on. Their analogy is crypto is still in the VHS versus Betamax stage of development. It's funny, I just brought that up on Saturday Night Live about that VHS versus Betamax. So I wonder how old this person is that actually wrote this article. Meme coins are forever. Bonk proves that Doge wasn't an anomaly. Meme coins are a repeatable phenomenon for better and worse, and will continue to drive activity in crypto. Yeah, I think it's more for the worse because they don't do anything. But whatever. That's just old guy me, I guess. Airdrops are forever. I thought that was interesting. I don't know anything about the airdrops that have been happening this year, and then NFTs are forever. I thought this was interesting. You can't acquire a pudgy penguin for anything less than $22,000, 10 ETH. That's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. And then Binance isn't very important. I think we've learned that this year. At the start of the year, it felt like crypto couldn't operate without Binance. At the end of the year, kind of feel like an afterthought. I mean, they're still big, they still exist, but in the US, we can't use them. We're not supposed to use them anyway. Obviously, people I'm sure are using them using a VPN, but Binance US is no longer. And the US government probably isn't trying to kill crypto. 2023 was the year of Choke Point 2.0, but it's also the year of Department of Justice settling with Binance for a modest sum instead of trying to put them and the entire crypto industry out of business. Thought that was really interesting as well. Tokens aren't necessarily securities. Blockchain tech is increasingly incomprehensible. How many people understand both zero knowledge math and blockchain tech? Not very many, but people understand that it works because they use it. I didn't even read this far down in the article. TradeFi hearts crypto. Anticipation is the best part. And that was what was talked about at the beginning. If the spot ETF could forever remain 3 months away, BTC would never go down. And that's the whole buy on rumor, sell on news. And in the predictions article we'll go over, I thought that was pretty interesting in the predictions that were in there as well. Stablecoins are still the only real world use case. That I don't agree with, but it is definitely a use case. DePIN might be a use case. I don't think might, I think is. So I disagree with that. As far as which ones in the DePIN market are going to be the most successful, that remains to be seen. But I definitely think that some of them will be extremely successful. It's just a matter of which ones. Will it be Helium, HiveMapper, Demo, Flux, Chlor, Dynex? I don't know. Depends. Who knows? We shall see. AI might be a use case, although I kind of mentioned that with DePIN. I think it will be a use case, definitely, in the fact that it'll make better use of the existing hardware that's available in the proof of work. I don't need to tell all you that. You already know that. And speculation is definitely a use case. Memories are short, especially in finance, and 2023 shows that there will always be a market for trading new things, no matter how seemingly insubstantial. That's interesting. That's really interesting. And I think we've seen that with new coins that have been coming out. You've got Pyron, you've got Carlson, you have AIPG, you have all these coins that everybody's like flocking to mine. And I'm really curious to see how that ends up playing itself out as we go into 2024. I know it certainly has changed some of the ways that I've done things. And we'll see. And the other thing I'm really curious about going into 2024 is any of these things that already had a pump, will they have another pump? That's, to me, is a question. And magic internet money is real. And crypto is forever. Yes, we all know that crypto is forever. 2024 is going to be fun. I think we can all agree on that. 2024 is going to be fun. It's not going to be like, oh my gosh, you know, crazy up all the time, but it will be fun. We will have more ups than downs. And downs aren't necessarily a bad thing as the overall market is going up. That gives us more opportunities to buy back in because the accumulation phase is coming to an end. We're not there yet, but it is coming to an end. But we might even have some better times for that. All right, before I get into the next article, let me see what other people tagged me in. So I'm going to scroll up. Let's see. Okay, so that's all Dark Reader stuff. And that was Geek. All right, I guess I didn't miss anything. As far as, so if you guys want me to read one of your messages, please tag me, because that's basically what I do. I scan through it, and then Sunflower Mom will selectively pick out other comments, although she's AFK right now. So please tag me if you would. Retro Mike says they left out what we say from Verge XVG. They ended their emissions and don't have much usage, so we're only seeing mining rewards once every couple of hours. Interesting. People are fighting to get that minimum reward. I actually figured that out. Interesting. I'm curious if there'll be any other cryptos that end up in that space in the coming years. I mean, obviously Kaspa, it'll be interesting to see how much it ends up getting as far as adoption, because if it doesn't get adoption, once the rewards run out, there won't be any fees for miners to continue mining it. So that'll be interesting to see. All right, let me move on to the next thing, which is the crypto industry and Washington. I thought this was interesting in the fact that it mentions a few things. There were 3 areas in particular that stand out as focal points for the year ahead. There's the consequential court battles that were won in 2023 and position us much better going into 2024. So obviously we all know Ripple was vindicated this past summer, complicating the SEC's anti-crypto crusade. And then there was Graysale's battle with the commission over whether they can convert their Bitcoin trust into an ETF, will reach its conclusion next year, potentially setting off a string of new consumer-facing options for buying and selling cryptocurrencies. Obviously, we're talking about the ETF, the spot ETF, for a number of applicants that have applied with the SEC. Beyond those cases, the crypto industry rights under the Constitution will be a theme in 2024. It's vital that writing code is seen as speech, thus protected by the First Amendment. Self-custody of assets supported by DeFi protocols must be understood and protected under the Fourth Amendment rights, privacy considerations. And beyond it, crypto must have the same due process protections guaranteed under the Fifth Amendment. So far, to me, it appears that the Fifth Amendment, that's like no issue. I haven't seen anybody that's been denied their day in court. So I think that is a given. The only issue is the SEC abusing its power, and hopefully that will be resolved in the next year or two by appointing somebody who is more, I don't want to say crypto friendly, I'll say crypto fair. There can be crypto projects that can be evaluated as saying, I'm not so sure about this one, or they may have broken laws. So I want to say crypto fair because, the vast majority of crypto projects are just people trying to create something of value to the crypto industry. So the fact that you have a bunch of these exchanges, as well as crypto projects being targeted by the SEC is absolutely unfair. And of course, courts move slowly, so this is going to be a while before we see everything pan out. Now, the other thing is public sentiment towards crypto is actually changing. We're seeing much more pro crypto people in the country as more and more people become educated about it. And the fact that you have all of these companies that are saying we want to do a spot ETF. The fact that they're saying that, Fidelity, Grayscale, I know I'm forgetting a bunch, but those were the ones I just remember off the top of my head. All of these different companies, Bitwise, uh, they are validating the crypto industry. They're validating Bitcoin by creating products that will use Bitcoin and buy and sell Bitcoin. So that in and of itself, the regular person is going to be like, well, if they're doing it, then it must be okay. So we're going to see a lot of that, not necessarily mass adoption, but we'll see more of the public sentiment towards Bitcoin be like, okay, it's here to stay. Whether they agree with it or not, it's going to be they'll just have acceptance, and that's one of the stages of the 12-step program of crypto. So there you go. Let me check the chat. Oh yeah, that's Digibyte, I believe, is DGB. Interesting you mentioned that, because I have been mining it on this little USB miner that I got, I don't know, about a year ago or so ago, maybe 9 months ago, 10 months ago. Anyway, right now it happens to be off because I'm streaming, but I have gotten 3 blocks on that little Bitcoin miner for Digibyte, worth about $10 last time I checked. So not much. So anyway, that's basically what this one. Oh, and then the last part of it was, we're in an election year and you have this change in public sentiment. So with this change in public sentiment, it's going to be real interesting to see how this might affect the election and who gets elected. So I'm really curious to see what happens. Plus, there's a bunch of bipartisan bills this year, and to see if you're on the wrong side of voting for those bipartisan bills. That's also going to be very interesting. So one of the things in this country, if you vote against a bipartisan bill, it doesn't really usually reflect very well on you with the vast majority of Americans. The vast majority of Americans want Congress to do something that makes sense. And if you have people on both sides agreeing on something, generally that means that it's a nonpartisan issue, which crypto really isn't, should be a nonpartisan issue. So the fact that it's nonpartisan, you better agree on it. Now, if you go against the nonpartisan bills, that puts you in the fringes, and yeah, will have a particular sector of the public against you. So anyway, just thought that was pretty interesting. People are taking my my Funko Pop off my desk. All right. Let me see. Aragorn Strider's been a member for 3 months. Merry Christmas to you as well. Thank you for being a member, as well as to all my members. I appreciate you guys all being members. All right. Let me see. I think that was pretty much the end of that article. Yeah. So I won't go any further into that one. And then the last one is going in on predictions for 2024. And I thought this one was very interesting and pretty fun. I think a lot of these things are things we've talked about in the past, but the fact that they're in an article I thought was kind of cool. Maybe a little bit premature as far as we're on Christmas and we're not quite to New Year's, but I will not do another Mondays with Max stream until January 1st. So this is my last Mondays with Max of the year, so that's why I brought this one in. So let's go down a little bit. So a bearish year for Binance. Yeah, Binance is still going to feel the hit of everything that has happened with them going into 2024. So I don't think that's any big surprise. It will lose its number 1 position spot for trading, with other competitors gaining market share against them. So again, not a huge surprise. And being bullish for Coinbase. Now, this one, just the prediction is fine, but I thought it was pretty interesting of why Ryan Rasmussen said that Coinbase was going to do well, and why it may be a really good place to invest. Uh, and again, not financial advice. I'm just basically going off of some interesting information here. It says Coinbase's revenue will double, beating Wall Street expectations by at least 10 times. Historically, Coinbase's trading volumes surge in bull markets, and we expect the same to happen again. Plus, they've launched a wide range of new products that are showing traction. So, a layer two and expansion abroad were Coinbase's initiative this year. The exchange has also remained mostly free from legal troubles that have plagued its competitors. I mean, it still has an open case with the SEC, but I think they've been showing a great job of fighting it and staying out ahead of it in the public eye. Yes, the price of coin stock is up 376% this year, but that doesn't mean it can't go up more, especially as with any growth industry. Sorry, DJ Minds made $69 from Demo today. Love these little car machines. Pay out every Monday. I haven't looked at mine yet. That's obviously significantly less than it was last week, but obviously as more and more people adopt Demo, the the amount that you get in Demo each week will go down. But with adoption, should raise the price of Demo as well, because it'll raise the value of Demo, because Demo will have more data and a larger data set to sell to those that value the data that it provides. By the way, anybody that is looking to buy a Demo, you can use max voltage as a coupon code. And also, if you want to go back and just double check on Misfit Mining in my max voltage channel, I have it both in the OnlyFans and the other one, but in the max voltage channel, there in the pinned comments are my referral links for both Hive Mapper as well as Demo. So thank you to Argon Strider for providing that little push I needed to do that. I've been knowing that I've been needing to do that for a while, so appreciate that, Aragorn Strider. Gaming with Smokey Dan says, does feel strange to watch you live on a Monday, as always watch you live on Tuesday mornings. Yeah, sorry, gaming. Hopefully that's not a bad thing. Say, hey, you get to actually see me on Christmas as opposed to seeing me the day after Christmas. So not necessarily a bad thing. All right. Well, let me continue on, because there's definitely some interesting. This one is fascinating to me. JP Morgan tokenizes a fund. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? So, and for some reason they always post this other one first, but it's always the second one of Ryan Rasmussen. So prediction number 5, JP Morgan will tokenize a fund and launch it on chain as Wall Street gears up to tokenize real world assets. Launching a tokenized fund would allow them to take advantage of the efficiencies on-chain assets can offer while entering a market whose growth is exploding. This is interesting. I feel like 2024 is going to be that time when, we talk about tokenizing assets. Well, that's nothing more than basically we've talked about NFTs representing real world assets. And this, the way I read this, that's basically that. Maybe not necessarily in NFTs, but still. Travelers Travel, a member for 9 months. Thank you very much. Merry Cryptimus, Crypto Fam. Appreciate you doing that. All right, let's keep going. $10 billion market cap for Bonk. This made me really think, because everybody's talking about, well, Doge is going to go up a lot. Yeah, it may, but what's going to be the next Doge? And Bonk is pretty interesting. This article came out recently, so this may not quite be right anymore, but Beluga says, Whale wants to know your biggest and boldest crypto prediction for 2024. We'll drop ours. Bonk to $10 billion market cap. What is it currently at as of the writing of this article was like 250, wait, $250,000. 250,000? It can't be that anymore. It's been going up. But any way you look at it, it is huge as far as where it would be going. Yeah, I may throw, not financial advice, but I may throw a little bit of money at this thing. You know, why fight the tidal wave? I guess is the way I look at it. All right, and then Bitcoin Therapist says, with everything on the table coming in 2024, it's hard to imagine Bitcoin under $250,000. Everyone in the space knows this is the greatest opportunity of a lifetime. For everyone else, they'll get Bitcoin at the price they deserve. Thought that was pretty interesting. So it is obviously 159% in the past year. So it has done very, very well this year. And here's the other thing that's pretty interesting. So when I first got into mutual funds, what do a lot of people do that are trying to plan for their retirement or whatever? They look at not only ratings, but they look at who had the best returns the previous year. And what does that mean? That means that people generally try to chase what had the greatest returns in the previous year. And crypto has done really well in the previous year. So it'll be interesting to see how much money chases crypto, which again may drive the price higher in the short term, at least in first quarter. I don't know. Thought that was pretty interesting. Now this one's pretty interesting. Bearish ETFs. So this was what I thought. I'm thinking this could happen. Again, the whole buy on rumor, sell on news type of thing. So it says entire crypto market rallies into the ETF announcement in January 2024. Then crypto bleeds down with 30 to 40% dips. I don't think Bitcoin will dip that much, but some of these smaller caps would dip that much. The 1 to 2 months post ETF announcement, while still waiting the listing, market then rallies into the halving with April 24 again, buy on rumor, sell on news, and then consolidates post halving. Yeah, I think consolidates and maybe a little down after the halving, and then third quarter I think is where we really start to take off. That's my opinion, but he doesn't state that here. But again, the buy the rumor, sell the news, as they say. Analysts have predicted a sharp downside move is possible immediately after potential spot Bitcoin ETF approval. However, prior precedent suggests that ETF approval would lead to a longer term price rally. So it could go up or it could go down. How's that for a prediction? I think basically this person's saying this is one person's prediction, but he's saying he doesn't think so. So that's his disagreement with that prediction. So that's fair. That's fair. Let's see. I do not. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I can pretty much figure out what bonk means in the UK. I did not know that, but I can figure it out. Anyway, Demo AutoPie or Demo Macron. I know that the AutoPie makes more. So that's what I'm using. I actually have two AutoPies. I bought, for pure disclosure, I reached out to Demo, said I was going to do some content on it, and could I get a deal? And they said, how about buy one, get the second one free? Said, that's awesome. So I got a 2-for-1 deal on it. Way have paid it off, obviously, at this point, but I do have one in each of our cars, and it's done well. Like I said, it just sits there and it just makes money. How bad is that? And or I should say, how good is that? I was being sarcastic, but yeah, it's definitely good. We'll see how much people FOMO into it now that the price has gone up, which obviously will drive down rewards, which is fine. Hopefully that will help drive the market for Demo token going forward, but we'll see. All right, so dig up your NFTs. It's mid 2024 and things continue to heat up in the NFT space. This is his prediction. So millionaires are minted and simultaneously the biggest NFT bull run we have ever seen gets set off. I think this one's a little out there. Uh, there's still a lot of negative out there with NFTs. So I don't know. I'm not sure about that, but I'm just not up on the NFT market. That's not my thing in the crypto space. Uh, I thought this one was way out there. Elon drops a token. I wonder, first of all, if he does, what that would do to Doge, because right now he's tied to Doge. So, really curious to see what happens there. If in fact if there's anything to that. So, and that was it. That was it for that. So I thought those were pretty interesting predictions. Some things that make me think are, should I put just a little bit of money in Bonk to ride the wave? What were some of the other things? Maybe buy some Coinbase. I always try to look at these articles and say, what am I going to use? What am I going to do with this information? Am I going to do anything with it? And most of the time I don't. I'm trying to get away from that. I'm trying to be like, okay, like the whole thing with Solana. I recommended it and I have almost none of it. I have some, but it's not one of my top, probably even my top 10. Well, it's in my top 10 holdings. Let's put it this way. I own more Raven coin than I own Solana. There you go. So should have at least done a little bit more Solana. My biggest mistake was that I put more. My two recommendations were Matic and Solana. And I was deciding between which one to put it in. And because Solana had a run already, decided to put it in Matic. Yeah, based on some of the things I've read, Matic will still do well. Ethereum is still going to do well. But Solana, I think, is the way I should. Well, I know that I should have gone. That's hindsight, but it is what it is. Let's see. Again, tag me if you want me to read a message. TJ Mines made like $50 from my abandoned helium miner this month. It's crazy. Swapping to Sol every month. I've been doing that as well. I haven't looked to see. I've been looking to see exactly how much it's been worth. Just been kind of swapping it. But Matt Electronic, Merry Christmas to you as well. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it very much. All right. So that's kind of like all the articles I wanted to go over. One of the other things I wanted to go over is kind of some things I'm working on. Obviously, you guys know I'm a big proponent of Vast AI, and I know that a lot of people don't like that I'm into Vast AI, but again, it's diversification. It's not that I'm not mining. I still have more cards mining than I have on Vast AI. But one of the things it has enabled me to do is use my returns from Vast AI to pay my power. So all my crypto stays in crypto now, which makes things a lot simpler. And can I use some of the returns from Vast AI? I will eventually. Right now is not a time where I can do that. I have some financial things I want to take care of that the Vast AI is going to allow me to do in dirty fiat, but it does allow me to keep the crypto in crypto and allow me to accumulate the specific cryptos that I'm looking to accumulate, whether it be, mine what's most profitable and then sell it into another coin, or just decide to mine directly into that coin. And I'm kind of doing a little bit of both now. In doing that, I know I have accumulated some Litecoin. Would like to get a little bit more Litecoin, but right now I'm more focused on some of the more mineable coins like Radiant. I want to get some more of. Like right now, I'm good on Dynex. I'm good on Alephium for now. But Radiant is one I want to continue to grow. Next is another one I want to continue to grow. My biggest problem with some of the higher power, like any of the Kapow based or ProgPow based proof of work projects, I just don't have the power to do everything. And I actually tried mining AIPG when I was first told about it on my Octominer, and I went from like 5,200 watts to 6,800 watts on a 30 amp circuit. Can't do that. So definitely needed to change back to a lower power coin in order to do that. I may spread out my rigs a bit, but as we start heading into summer, it's going to be a lot harder to keep the basement cool this year with the additional hardware that I have added. All right, I've seen a bunch of tags. Let's see. Mining King, what is Vast AI? Jeez. Vast AI to like totally reduce the number of people and have people like completely go away at this point. Um, Vast AI is a marketplace for renting out hardware. That's the easiest way to put it. It's called Vast AI, both with the AI in the end, because you can have machine learning and things like that. But you can rent it out for any reason. Miners come in and rent the hardware as well. I did notice there was a big jump in demand today. Not sure why, but the vacancies dropped quite a bit. And one of the videos I actually will be doing soon, and Mining King, don't steal this idea, or maybe you can tell me if it was one of the ideas, but I was looking at Woven Video dot something anyway, but basically it's a website that shows you like what the status is of Vast with all of the machines on there. So how many are vacant, how many are rented via bid, how many are rented on demand, meaning that it can't be interrupted. So non-interruptible is on demand, and then interruptible obviously is interruptible. That's what we call bid. So if somebody bids higher than you, they can interrupt your job, and then obviously vacant is self-explanatory. But it allows you to look at what the market is and reprice your rigs accordingly. Now, if you already have an on-demand job and that person's just going to stay on there, you can't really do anything about it until you get to expiration. But it does allow you to make changes when that expiration occurs. For me, I think pretty much almost all my rigs expire on December 31st. So I will be looking to make changes. Now, it doesn't stop you from doing basically a work period, basically sending a note to the person that is renting your machine. And then you can say, hey, I need an hour of time to do some maintenance on the machine. So basically a maintenance period. So if you do need to make any changes, you can do that. I'm planning on doing that with a few rigs. But anyway, so that's what I wanted to say about Vast versus mining. It's enabling me to keep all of my mining rewards in crypto and not having to sell anything to help pay for power, which is what I've been having to do all the way along the way in this journey for the most part. All right, so let me go and read some other ones. What's your take trading BTC on RTF? I see it a way to save on exchange rate fees. What is RTF? I'm not sure what you mean by RTF. S. Chang, please clarify. Argon Strider says, my power company only takes USD, so dirty coins are helpful. Exactly. Oh, and speaking of that, let me show you this. So that'll make you sick. So this was yesterday. So my supply rate was anywhere basically right around 1.5 cents or much lower. I mean, this was almost zero. That was yesterday. This is today. This is today. From 1 a.m. to 2 a.m., it was minus 1.6 cents. At between 3 and 4 a.m., it was minus 1.5 cents. Now, that doesn't mean that they are paying me to use the power. It does in a way, but not exactly, because that doesn't include delivery and taxes. So delivery and taxes are right around 8 cents. It changes month to month because of the carbon-free adjustment. It's not a tax necessarily. It's an adjustment based upon a whole bunch of other things that I've gone into in the past that I'm not going to go into this time, but that adjustment changes every single month. The lower the rate is, typically the higher the adjustment. So it does offset it a bit. But usually it's a lagging thing. So in this particular case, we're still going to estimate about 8 cents. So overall, I'm doing pretty darn well today. You know, it's predicting that it's going to go up to 2 cents. I'm not sure it will. It might stay below 1 cent the rest of the day. I'm really curious to see what happens for the rest of the day. But definitely very happy about that. Everything's running, everything's rented. So yeah, it's nice to know that Christmas Eve and Christmas have been good to me as far as power costs go. But yeah, I will be able to pay that with the dirty fiat. And I'm considering we're near the end of the month. I'm really curious to see what my rate is going to be for December. Let's see. Let's see if S Chang ETF. Okay. So what's your take trading BTC on ETF? I see it as a way to save on exchange rate fees. I mean, it all depends on what the fees are for built into the ETF, because the ETF is still going to have fees associated with it. So I don't know. I think that remains to be seen. It's definitely, it's possible. I guess we'll find out. Let's see. Okay, Argon Strider, my power. Oh, that's right. I already said that. Give me a Smoky Dan. What you can also do with Vast AI is when you have a renter mining, you can see what they are on and then put a rig or two on that to also get a bag to not miss out. That is true. There was like Q Runner or something like that. I have not gotten any of that, but there were a bunch of rigs that were rented out for that. A bunch of people that, you know, we kind of, within the mining community, we have a bunch of people that are on Vast AI. We were all mentioning about how many of our rigs were actually on that. So, and that's like something Q something AI, but it was still in testnet. So it was all people trying to, I don't know. I didn't look into it that fully, but that's a really, really good point. All right. And then the other thing you can do also, and I've been doing this, is when you don't have a rented rig, you can put in a background job to mine to it, to use that card to mine. Now, the only drawback to that is you cannot change the power settings. So you're pretty much mining at full power or close to it. Some of the algorithms will still reduce the power naturally, but you're still using way more power than what you would normally do. But it's better than just sitting there idle. You're still, in most cases, profitable. You're just less profitable. And for those that are going to say, excuse me, let me take a drink. For those of you that are going to say, yes, you can change the power. The problem is that if somebody then comes in and bids on your, like outbids yourself on that, you're now giving them lower power, which isn't the promised performance that you should be giving them with that card and that setup. So that's the problem. You can't like automatically change it, at least as far as I'm aware of. If anybody knows of a way to do that, I'm very interested in that. All right. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Yep, I saw that. Don't forget to keep records of expenses for taxes when Vast sends you a 1099. Oh yeah, definitely. Well, one of the things that I do, and I know that not everybody does this, no judgment, but I am very clear on my taxes. I claim whatever I have mined. I use Koinly in order to do that. So that's what I do. So I'm already keeping records of expenses, so that I can take all the expenses against all that mining revenue. Last year was a really bad year, in the fact of I got all that mining revenue at the beginning of the year, and then everything tanked. So I still had to pay taxes on the mining revenue, but my capital gains were horrible. So I was only able to claim 3,000 of that against all the mining revenue. So that'll flip flop this year a bit. So not super concerned about that. It will equal itself out. Plus I have trading losses that basically went forward to this year. So anyway, all right, let's see what else you guys have said. S Chang, half a rig, high power algo rather than full rig, low power algo. You know, I haven't gone through that calculation. I know what you're saying is put like half my rigs on a high power algo and turn the rest of them off. I'd have to look to see if that's more profitable. In a lot of cases, I don't think it would be, because if you've got, say, a lithium that's in fourth place, that's, say 10 cents less profitable than a high power algorithm. Well, it's still going to be more profitable to run all my cards on a lower power algorithm than it would be to run half my cards on a higher power algorithm. But it's a good point, because not in all cases, if you have something that's way more profitable than everything else, yes, that probably would be more profitable, as long as you have a way to sell out of the coin, and that's what your plan is. So alrighty. Raptor Mining, hello to you as well. Merry Christmas. Mad Electron says, I got Della MRVA Power, which is Exelon company, but we only have static rate. Interesting. Yeah, I know ours is Exelon as well. ComEd is Exelon. But yeah, for some reason, I don't know exactly how it came to be about, but from what I can tell, Illinois is very unique in their variable rate, and that it is hourly changing, which is great, because here's the thing. Think of, and I've gone through this before, I'm going to go through it again. Think of anything that you have a fixed charge for, specifically insurance. Okay, so is insurance going to charge you exactly what the cost is going to be for them for all their claims going forward? No, that's in the future. They don't know what that's going to be. So they have to charge you a rate that is going to be higher than what they're predicted, plus a little bit of margin. So sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong, but with the margin, they will hopefully always be right. And they have to always be right. So that margin is pretty large. Well, think about anything that offers you a fixed rate, especially when it's a commodity like electricity or natural gas. If you have a static rate and that rate is going to change, well, guess what? They have to charge you. It's basically insurance on the rate. They have to charge you a margin above that, so they make sure that they make money. So anytime you're getting a static rate from a provider, they've got a built-in margin that they have to, plus a safety net on top of it. With hourly rate, there's no margin, or at least a lot less of a margin, because there's no risk. They've reduced their risk. They're going to charge you what the going rate is, plus a little bit of profit margin. Because of that, yes, overall, over the entire year, you're going to make out. Basically, I save on average about 20% on my power every single year. Are there some bad months where it's a little bit higher? Yeah, it's very rare, extremely rare where that actually happens, but it does happen. And then there's variety. Sometimes it may only be 5% you're saving, and there could be other months where you're saving like 35%. But overall, so if you're in Illinois, of course, Geek isn't here anymore, and I've been bugging him to get on this program because it's going to save him some money. But I know that there were a couple other people that were on this program, and they've all found the same thing I have. But Crypto Shaped is on this. It's on the tip of my tongue. Anybody in the chat that's on this, let me know. But I'm telling you, if you're in Illinois and you're not on this program, and you're a miner using a lot of energy at night when the cost of electricity is low, that's the key here. If you're using using a lot of electricity at a time when it's historically low, that's where you're making out. Normal families and things will still benefit from this, but they won't benefit it from as much because they'll still be using most of their electricity when the cost of electricity is higher, whether it be first thing in the morning and at night when most people get home, that type of thing. So anyway, all right, enough of that. Gaming with Smokey Dan says, stole that from Soat, as talked about it in his video from his live. And I've already forgotten about what we talked about. Gaming with Smokey Dan. Oh yeah, with the vast thing. Yeah, and it's definitely a good point. I had thought about it, but yeah, I never got into Q Runner. But it is interesting. Let's see. 6190TA says, you install your car GPS signal antenna amplifier booster. Yes, I did. And it does seem to be helping. In fact, let me look at yesterday's because I want to see what kind of gaps there might have been. So give me 1 second while I pull up my Hive Mapper and see. Trying to remember where I go to get this. Here it is. Oh, I still got to upload the rest of this too. Good thing I went in here. Oh, wow. Yeah. The, wow. Yeah. So let's, promise this is going to dox me, but the amount of gaps in a trip, and it was cloudy yesterday, it wasn't sunny, and that's what I've always had run into problems, are so much smaller. And I'm basically able to, hopefully I would see that we'll see a benefit in that when it comes to payouts this Thursday. But yeah, it definitely seems to pick up the GPS signal a lot faster, and and stays a lot more consistent. So if you can find the antenna part's the easy part to find. It's the repeater that's hard to find. And when I say hard to find, it's hard to find on Amazon. You can find it on other things. I found it on Walmart, and you can find it on eBay as well. And they all look pretty much the same. They're probably not all great quality. They probably will all go out eventually. But for right now, I've had it for about a week and a half, and it's doing great. So I'll continue to report on it. But yeah, I definitely think that it does really well, and I appreciate Overboard Tech for providing that idea a number of months ago. It took me forever to get it, and then it took forever for me to actually install it. But yeah, Sunflower Mama redid the installation so that the cords are out of the way, at least more out of the way than they were. So kudos to her for redoing my horrible installation. All right, let's see. And no other questions. Yes, Overboard Tech says it does work. It's dumb that it's that effective, but it does work. It really does work. Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, your phone seems to do fine in the car. So why is it that you need an antenna? Why can't the Hive Mapper come with a better GPS antenna? That's the part that I'm really confused about. I mean, good GPS has been around for quite a while. Maybe because phones are using more than just GPS. Maybe they're using Wi-Fi as well. I don't know. But it is what it is. 619 OTA says, I need to buy and install one. I'm getting lots of gaps. Yeah, I was too. So like I said, I was shocked when I looked at this thing, and it's like, I mean, there are still a few gaps here and there, but it's a solid line for the most part. And like I said, it was still on a cloudy day, and you're going to have GPS dropouts. I guess I really wish that the Hive Mapper would have some sort of like inference, but the issue there, I think, is that it doesn't store the maps. Doesn't have anything to download maps to. So I think that's kind of the thing that makes a phone work, is the fact that you're downloading information at the same time that you have GPS information. So the mapping software can infer the direction you're going, what road you're on, and therefore eliminate any gaps along the way that it may have in its GPS coverage. So it's definitely different, and that's why the GPS signal is so important in doing it. So, all right, great question. Appreciate you asking that question. A couple other things. And while you guys are thinking of additional questions to ask me, I was going to also show, so I am getting a new Vast rig. So right now I have a 3090 that I pulled out of a Vast rig to put a 4090 in. That was the last one I had gotten. And so right now the 3090 is mining. What I'm currently getting is an Epic machine. And right now it is in Chicago as of the night 11/26, the 23rd. It's still predicting that it's going to get here like on January 3rd. But I would imagine I will either get it the 26th or the 27th. because it's already past import release, and that's the key thing to get it passed. And what gets me is it passed import release in like less than an hour. I couldn't believe that. That's a lot of times where it'll get hung up. So anyway, but yeah, I paid $35 extra to get it quicker because I really wanted to put this thing together no later than next weekend. But this one's going to have two 4090s in it, at least to start. I may eventually go to more, but I've bought everything that I need to put in this rig. I got a 4 gig uh, NVMe drive to put in it, or sorry, 4 terabit drive to put in it. And this is going to be, I forget what the EPYC processor was in it, but it's a dual processor. It has 256 gig of RAM. So anyway, I'll be putting this thing together, and then I'll be able to take an existing 4090 plus a 4090 that I'm having delivered on the 27th. Those two will both go into, well, I take that back. I'm going to take the two PNYs out of where they are, and I'm going to put them into this rig, and then the Gigabyte one that I have is going to replace one of the ones in the rig. The reason for that is I want to have matching cards in the rig if possible, and I will have 2 Gigabyte cards and 2 PNY cards, but the Gigabyte card is in a verified rig. I do not want to mess with that rig. It's verified. If I put a different 4090 in it, probably wouldn't change anything, but why mess with it? It would lead to a possibility of being de-verified, which I swear is worse than being unverified. So gonna leave it. It's working great. Always rented. Be able to rent for higher amounts. So I will take the 2 PNYs out, put a 3090 in one, and the new 4090 in the other. And that's the plan for that. So, and one of them had a 3090 in it before. So anyway, that is the plan. I'm looking forward to being able to do this, and I will be streaming it hopefully. It actually wasn't Gaming with Smokey Dan. It wasn't an Alibaba special. It was actually on eBay. So similar, definitely similar. But it was on eBay. Gaming with Smokey Dan just tagged me. Oh, I see. I got some mining stuff coming from Shenzhen, but mine are through Amazon. Got an 8 GPU USB board with CPU, cooler, thermal paste, power switch cable, and a SATA cable for 28 pounds. Free shipping too. Nice. Interesting. Very interesting. I mean, I still have my 2 RebTech boards that I'm not using. Eventually would like to get to the point where I can start using them again, but yeah, I may have to seriously think about expanding power in the house. But if I expand power in the house, that means the heat is going to be unbearable. So maybe I should just build a shed. I don't know. These are all things I'm thinking about for 2024. They are not resolutions. I still haven't figured out where I'm going with my journey. But yeah, it definitely need to kind of think about how to manage the power going forward. Second TL said, how much RAM you putting in it? I got 256 gig in that. So yeah, I think that will help hopefully get it verified relatively soon. Plus, I may end up putting it in like a mining rig so that I can run like ribbon cables up to them so that I can put more in this on this motherboard. But that's one step at a time. One step at a time. Right now, I know I can run 2 next to each other. There's a little bit of space in between. So, it's funny you mentioned that, Matt Electron. Yeah, it was like, I don't know, about 1 o'clock in the morning when I started watching that, and I was very, very tired. So I need to go back and watch that because I got about, I don't know, 3 minutes into it and I fell asleep. Not because of the quality of your video, but just because of how tired I was. But yeah, I was watching that last night when I fell asleep, and I woke up like at 2:30 or something. But anyway, but yeah, definitely if you have not seen that video, go watch Matt Electron's video. It's I am looking forward to watching that. But yeah, it was interesting. I know you said that you had 3900X in there. So I found that fascinating. I was like, really? 3900X in a server? Obviously you had, and I guess they are ATX size motherboards. I did notice that with the Super Micro that I'm buying. So yeah, I started thinking through that as you were talking about that thing, and wow, I hadn't thought about that. But anyway, I'll definitely go back and watch that. Thanks for the reminder on that. Gaming with Smokey Dan will be my first Intel board. Gonna put on open air frame under my desk with 2060s and 1660 later. Is gonna fill my server case. The 2060s are in with 3070s. So yeah, everybody's thinking about expansion plans for next year. So it will be interesting. Oh, you're right. Swamp 7. I forgot about that. Yeah, and I actually was looking at that guy's website. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Especially running longer lengths. Shoot, like C-Pain or something, I think is the guy's website. So yeah, I don't know if you Swamp 7, if you have any other suggestions regarding how to set something like that up. I am all open to it. You want to do a collab or something on planning the build or something like that, I'd be interested in that as well. So let me know. Swamp 7 has provided a bunch of information to me on how to get the different ways that you can actually get the mining job running in the background on Vast AI. He has actually put in a bunch of Dockers basically so that you can run it easier. I did, by the way, Swamp 7 run into some problems with some of the algorithms not running. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. But anyway, but most of the ones I still have running with the way you showed me. All right. Let me see. Was there anything else I wanted to go over? I think that was pretty much it. Let's see. Wow, there's a lot of drinks here. I hope you guys aren't so drunk at this point. I'm gonna try not to say that word. Maybe that'll be a no, that won't be a resolution because I won't be able to hold that resolution. That resolution will be done within like the first 20 minutes of my January 1st stream. So yeah. Red Panda says Swamp 7, where's the sauce? What are you worried about, Red Panda? You're not doing Vast AI. You've basically just thrown the Vast AI community to the side. You had it all set up, all ready to go, but yet no, couldn't make it work. Overboard Tech saying shwasted. I like it. Well, hopefully you guys are all have good plans ahead. Red Panda says 200 amp service upgrade fund, power fund. Yeah, it obviously will cost quite a bit. I'm guessing probably about $3,000 would be my guess, something like that. But man, I got a long run to the box. I have a big backyard, which is great for a shed. That's another reason why I'm kind of considering maybe doing a shed. I'll be able to save money by not expanding the box in my house and just doing a shorter run to a shed. Yes, the shed will cost more, but I won't have the same problems with the heat that would be inevitable in the house. So I don't know. Got some things to think about there. But I do plan on my January 1st stream. I will be going over my resolutions, or I may just do a separate video on my resolutions. I'll give you a hint on one of my resolutions. Well, I have two resolutions right now that I am going to do. One is I have to lose weight. Those of you heard me complain about my hip, I have to lose weight. It will have less pain with having less weight to support on the hip. So that's just natural. So definitely going to do that. There's some other things with my health I'm going to do as far as going to a chiropractor and such to try to make the hip a little bit better. But one focus is the hip. doing something about it, whether it be going to full replacement or whatever. But starting with chiropractor and losing weight to start out to see where that goes. The other thing is, yes, just like I did, I think 2 years ago, I made a resolution that I was going to do a live stream every single Monday. And actually, the resolution was to do it once a week, period. But it ended up being on Monday. So I decided to stick with that. And that's what I've done. And I've stuck with that. So I will be creating some sort of resolution to create content going into 2024. Right now, my thought is 2 shorts and a video a week, starting there. And I think that that is very doable. And so that will be my goal going into next year. So yeah. Anyway, I do not even know how to say it. Snitoast SO. How many rigs you have on Vast? Right now, I have 10. I have 13 cards on Vast, and I will have 11 rigs and 15 cards on Vast sometime within the next 2 weeks. Miguel De Jesus says, I recently bought two 3060 Ti. They are giving a malfunction. It says GA104, and in HiveOS it says CUDA error 101. How can I fix that? The first thing, the last thing to do is just do a Hive replace, if you can do that. It could be a variety of things. It could be, if this is the way that they initially showed up, then my first suggestion would be to upgrade your NVIDIA driver. That would be the first thing. So if you have an NVIDIA driver like that you have on an old Hive OS, I'm assuming this is a Hive OS rig. Oh yeah, you said it's in Hive OS. But yeah, the first thing I would do is upgrade your NVIDIA driver and see if that resolves the issue. So yeah, upgrade it, then reboot it, and then see how it comes up. Game of Smokey Dan, got to get back on the bike. I know I also need to. Yes, I do. We are making plans for the basement. So one of the good things, I guess, that happened with, for those of you that don't know, we had a quote unquote burst pipe, basically a pipe that leaked and leaked into the basement, created some mold. We did not know what was happening, figured it out. Insurance came through. We had a company come through and remediate. That's all done. Still have some painting to do, but the basically it's done. So that part of the basement was a little bit of a mess. So we had to get everything out of there. So right now that's all in the garage. We're going to move some of it back into the basement because we want to get the space back in the garage, but it is going to make us reconfigure that space. And that's one of the things we're trying to figure out. And so one of the problems with we have electronic trainers in the basement that we have not used for quite a while. Would like to get back to using again. And the biggest problem was that the TV was so far away from the trainers that it was like impossible to read. So I had another monitor there, but even that made it still hard to read. So what we're going to do is we're going to shift them 90 degrees and put the large TV on the wall underneath the stairs. Anyway, we'll show that in the future, but that is one of the things we will be doing. Right now, though, I don't even think I could ride the bike right now because of the hip. So I need to continue to do some things to make sure that when I do get on the bike, that I'm not doing more harm than good. And that's why the chiropractor is the first step. So wanted to make sure I got into the new year before I did that. And I got to find somebody that I trust. So that's what's going on there. So, but yes, I do need to get on the bike. Appreciate that little push there. S-Train, what kind of content, I'm guessing, are you planning to create? It's really hard to say. I'm not a big how-to guy. I like to create content that will show my journey, as well as create content that is something that somebody else hasn't done. And that's part of the reason why I struggle with the content. I don't just look up to see what the hot topic is and do content based upon that. That is definitely the way to make a lot more money than what I'm making on YouTube, but that hasn't been what I've done in the past. So I'm sure it will adjust as I go forward. But that part I haven't really thought of, but I also haven't had trouble thinking of ideas to do content around. I just haven't done the content. And that's like right now, New Year's resolution, really easy thing to do content around because a lot of it's regarding what I plan on doing with crypto and things that I'm going to evaluate and that type of thing. So yeah, there's just a lot of different ideas that I have that. So again, one a week, I don't think I'll have trouble. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to start with one a week, because I think I can come up with ideas on one a week. I don't know how Red Panda does it like every single day. I couldn't come up with ideas on that. But we'll see. The other thing I'll have to probably revise a little bit is my live streams, because generally I go through all the ideas that I would have for videos within the Mondays with Max live stream. So I'll have to basically take out one of those topics and leave it for a live stream or for a video. There's other things I could do, and this is one of the things that Sunflower Mama's talked about doing. She's going to get an upgrade to 32 gig of RAM, which will make it easier for her to manipulate the content that I provide on the live streams. And she has offered, I'll teach her, but basically how to cut from the existing lives and create content out of them. So be looking at doing that as well. Let's see. What else? Joker Miner. Hello. Merry Christmas to you as well, Joker Miner. If I remember correctly, Joker Miner is probably one of the guys I need to talk to about a chiropractor. If I remember correctly. Let's see. What else we got up here? What is Red Panda and DJ talking about? Oh, you guys are talking about HiveOS access. Got it. Samir Batty, sorry, not sure if I pronounced that right. Top 3 GPU mining coins to mine right now. So there's 2 different ways to look at it. So let's pull up. I've been leaving this up anyway. Let me pull up hashrate.no. So because some of these things will become a little bit more evident. And it depends on what you have. That's kind of the issue. So if I go to GPUs and let's just go to 3070. It is going to be different for different cards, but I'd say one of the more common ones is 3060 Ti. Did you even say which one? Oh no, you didn't give that, but 3060 Ti and 3070 are pretty similar. We'll do 3060 Ti. It's probably more common. So there are 3 different strategies right now. It's to mine the unknown, which would be like AI power grid. It's to mine things that are hot, which is like NurAI, Satox Coin. Again, mining the unknown with Pyron and what's the other one I'm looking at? Carlson. So those 2. And if you notice right now, it's like a lot of the Kapow coins are up. So, but here's the thing I'm looking at. So lithium is one that I believe in, but my strategy is, and I have King to kind of thank for this a bit, is to either mine what's the highest yielding low power coin, which in this case is Pyron. So these are Kapow. This is AI power grid is Kapow, and then Ergo again, same thing. It's not so high. I guess I could do Ergo and Radiant. That might be an idea. This is actually kind of an interesting idea now that I think about it. Or mine Pyron and then sell and buy what I'm looking for. But some of the other ones that I'm looking for is some of the better known new coins that haven't seen a pump yet. So Radiant is one of those that hasn't seen the pump yet. Nexa is another one. That's like way down here. Wait a minute. Oh, there's Radiant. You can see it's still decent profit. It's, around 20 cents, as opposed to up here where you're looking at about 30 cents. So it's not right now. Things are so much more leveled out than they've been in the past, which means, hey, go down, look further down the list. You might be surprised at what you can find. So there's Radiant, and then where's Nexa? Nexa's way down. Meowcoin's another one that could pump. I'm not sure. Nexus one I think that could definitely pump. But again, Nexa is one of those ones I is a little bit higher power. Not so high power, but still a little bit higher power. You're going to look at probably not quite twice the amount of power. Like if I go into, oh, no, I didn't want to go to that. Let me go back. That wasn't what I wanted. But yeah, if you look at like, these are like 150 watts. This is like 83 and then 100 and 111. So I don't know. I'm probably going to be at max power with mining with like Pyron and Alephium and Dynex and those coins. So I'm probably going to be more sticking to them. But right now, as I mentioned before, I have higher amount of Alephium and Dynex than I do of anything else. Radiant is number 3, but I do want to pump that back up a bit. This one is very low power, so if I need to go much lower power, I can go to Radiant. And again, it's interesting because if I would have to shut anything off, that is still a very, very good thing to go to. So hopefully that answered your question somewhat. But bottom line is, pick the coins you think are going to do well and either mine to those or mine the highest profitability ones and sell out immediately and then buy the coins you want. I mean, those are really the two strategies. And like I said, the ones that I really like are Alephium, Dynex, Radiant. Flux I have a lot of, but a Flux would be another one that I'd be looking to accumulate. Flux has not seen the pump yet. It did see a little bit of a pump yesterday, but that's like a baby pump. So yeah, so Flux would be another one I'd be looking to accumulate. Again, not financial advice, but that's my strategy. Let's see. Kirk Solar says, did your insurance adjusters have anything to say about all the mining rigs in the basement? No, they did not. Nothing. Which I found interesting. So yeah, well, I guess I'll find out it'll be hard to tell when I see my next insurance because it'll probably go up because of the claim. But we'll see. Joker Miner, what's up? I work at a chiropractor school. Yes. I need a chiropractor and I know what chiropractor school you work for. So I was curious if you would have any insight into chiropractors that work in the area. I can do a search obviously, but it means I have to go into the about and of each of these chiropractors and see. I'm curious if there's a list of graduates from there. Crypto KJ says, no more mining Pyron to trade Ogre. Why not? Why not? I actually have a bag right now in Trade Ogre, and everything above that I'm trading out of to trade into something else. Right now I've been buying more Litecoin. Because I haven't really, that's kind of like my standby. If I want to put it into something else, what am I going to put it into? Right now I'm going into Litecoin. I think Litecoin is a sleeping giant at this point. And I think once we start getting into the bull run, everybody's going to wish they had more Litecoin. That's my opinion, not financial advice. And KJ says they've done a Kaspa on their wallet. They've done a Kaspa on their wallet. Oh, so you can't mine to Pyron anymore. Interesting. So they've added, I'll have to take a look at that. Appreciate the heads up on that. I was not aware of that. Do you know when that goes into effect, Crypto KJ? Let's see. Let me see if I've stopped getting payouts. Let me see. Deposit history. Yeah, I'm still getting payouts. Yeah, I'll be really curious to see that when that's to go effect. But let me know if you know when that's to go into effect. I think they've now created a desktop wallet, which is fine. I'd be willing to do that, but much prefer a web wallet just because can't do as much damage. But I have some extra machines I can put wallets on now at this point that are not on my main machine. All right, now that I've can't see anybody's comments. All right, let's see. What did Crypto KJ say? You can't mine Pyron to trade ogre. It's already happened. Well, I just got a payout. Like literally just got a payout. So then they're not enforcing it. One of the two. And I'll double check emails to see if there's anything there, but that's pretty interesting. What changes with the project if you did? Okay, I think he's talking to Retro Mike. Let me see what else. Slickens Maglinsky or Maglickens. The hash rate is going bonkers. Well, thank you for that, sir. Appreciate it. So Samir Body says, is Trade Ogre safe? Oh, you know what? Hang on a second. Let me see something here. I think maybe I now know what you're talking about. I was thinking you were talking more about the Dynex thing. Let me go to my balances and see. Ah, I see what you mean. Went into maintenance. Alrighty then. Went into maintenance. That's freaking great. Freaking great. So yeah, it continues to deposit, but I won't be able to get any of it out or be able to sell. That is very interesting. Let me see something. Can I sell? Let me see. I'm curious if I can still sell. Let's just do 100 Pyron and see what happens. Yeah. I'm still able to sell. It says in maintenance, but I'm not planning on transferring my Pyron out. But as long as I can still sell, I'm good. So that's pretty interesting. So is this just regarding being able to transfer the Pyron out as Pyron? That is pretty interesting. Well, the fact that it did that makes me want to maybe sell it all and not worry about it. And then buy back in if I want to. Anyway, sorry, I will get back to a conversation, but that is very, very interesting. Very interesting. Oh, you know what? Look at that. Pyron's back online. It's no longer in maintenance, so I don't know what that was about, but it's back online. So anyway, hit me some DMs as to where that you found that information, or did you just happen to see it on Trade Ogre? Let me know about that, please, Crypto KJ. I appreciate that. I did not talk about the MEXC drama. I do not have an MEXC account. They can only process one cash withdrawal at a time. Like one cash coin, like literally like one coin at a time. That's crazy. Yeah, Crypto don't know about deposit. Chum said it. If you have asked him for yours, okay, you'd have to ask him for the source. Okay, I'll definitely have to. That's bonkers. Thanks, oh boy, I appreciate that. I'll have to ask him. So okay, I will definitely ask him. I'm guessing that somebody probably said it was in maintenance. And their wallets do go into maintenance. I remember when I had Bittrex, and occasionally wallets would go into maintenance, and I sent a message like, "Yeah, we're doing some work on the wallet. There's been some changes, yada yada yada," and yeah, and then it would come back. Sometimes it took longer than others, but maintenance, there's nothing wrong with maintenance. Just when the maintenance lasts like weeks, that's a problem. So Retro Mike says 1 transaction at a time, wait for it to confirm, then do the next transaction. People are waiting days. Days to do a Kaspa transaction? Why would it take that long to do a Kaspa transaction? That makes no sense. Why? People are wary of them now because of Kaspa. Oh yeah, I know that. It's one coin. I don't know what's happened in the background. Obviously, they haven't exactly been forthcoming about it, unfortunately. Maybe because they can't be. I don't know, but yeah, I get it, but it's still one coin out of all the things that they are doing, and that's the one coin that it's happened to. I haven't heard of any other coin where it's happened to. Obviously, Pyron did happen for a period of time. I just looked at it; it said back online, so I don't know. Okay. Anything else you guys want to talk about? I've been going for, gosh, over 1.5 hours. I'm sure people have things that they want to do, but if you guys have other things to talk about, Dan Sand said 24 hours withdraw Kaspa for me. I'm assuming you mean MEXC. Retro Mike says, I know someone that had to wait 26 hours for their withdrawal. Last I saw, MEXC was trading below market value from it. Yeah. 619 OTA helium. Oh, and then it's a DJ Mine says, I saw on Twitter do under 200 Kaspa at a time. Interesting. Maybe that'll make it go a little bit faster. Yeah, speaking of that, I haven't looked at my helium wallet for a while. Curious if I've got anything to claim. Helium wallet. I always get all these wallets are so weird. Red Panda says, I have nothing to do. I should wrap up the 2080 Ti in BitX. Yeah, probably. That'd be a good idea. Get it out of the way. Let's see here. So I take that back. I did have one Solana. So I guess I have that to go by. Holy crap. It's up over 120. Oh my Lord. Up over 120. That's amazing. Continues to go bonkers. All right, let's see how much I have to claim. One of my helium miners that I have, like a second one at my house, it is doing really badly. I have it here because I wanted to be able to talk to another crank, so crank's more important to me at this point. But it's identified the fact that it's not where it's supposed to be, so I really need to relocate that one so that I can start getting decent rewards again. But right now, I basically got both rewards at the same time, and one of them has 3750 IoT, and the other one is at 19. So basically making nothing for IoT. But let's claim the one. Let's see. I don't even know how much this is worth. Add to account. 3754. Approve. Claiming my rewards. So yeah, if any of you guys have helium miners that have been running, get the helium wall, get everything over connected there, and then claim your IoT. Like I said, I have no idea. Let's see. Actually, let me go here. Price of IoT. So I can find anywhere that has it. So if it was 1 cent, it'd be worth $37. So it's going to be worth just under $10, I believe. Let me go back into my wallet. Yeah, exactly. It went from 121 to 129. So it's about $8 that I collected. But again, $8, it's just sitting there running at low watts. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Claiming cost 2 cent point zero. No, it did not. Not 0.02 souls. It's a lot less than that. I know that's what you're talking about, but I basically got $8 worth of IoT. It and the amount of that it created in Solana did not change at all. I'm still at over 100. I have 0.99 something, so it's much less Solana. So I think with the price going up, it might have started doing less. But you're right. I did find once where I got like a lot of Solana deducted, but that seems to have changed. This one says 0.000. It's 5 zeros, right? 5 zeros. No, 4 zeros. 0.00001. So let's just do 120. 100. Well, yeah, one Solana is $120. So 120 would be $1.20, 12 cents. That's like 1.2 cents, something like that. So yeah. And he says, I got an error the other day that I didn't have enough sol to do the claim and to the fund at least 0.02 sol. The fee was $2 2 weeks ago when I tried. Yeah, you're right. Wheeling Crypto and Coffee, thank you. Merry Christmas to you as well. But yeah, I did see that the other week. I don't know if that's what it ended up being. Actually, I should be able to look in here. So it may just, yeah, everything's been, again, it's 4 zeros, right? Yeah, 4 zeros. So it's like 1.2 cents right now. So nothing big. But you may have to have that much Solana in the account in order to do the transaction. So Overboard Tech said his are more like 0.00005. Yeah, mine are showing up as 0.00001. That's what mine are showing up as. So, and like I said, I got about 1 Solana, a little bit less than 1 Solana. I've been chipping away at that one as I've been doing claims along the way. But yeah, 1.2 cents for an $8 claim. Yeah, that's fine. No big deal. No big deal. I have over 1 Solana in the wallet now. I started doing the claims once per month. That's smart. I just wanted to see what it was. My last, so this was, let's see. When was the last time I did a claim? 9 days ago. That's not too shabby. 9 days ago. So let's say that's like equivalent about 3 times per month. So I'm making like $24 per month on the one miner. The other one I'm making almost nothing, which is fine. But yeah, that doesn't suck. $24 for doing nothing. I'll take it. So one of the things I have started to do actually is I started accumulating a spreadsheet of all the projects I'm involved in and what the payouts have been. I've seen others do that, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. So I will be doing a month-end review on each one of the projects I'm involved in. I'm going to start doing that in 2024. Probably I'll do the first one at the end of December, and I'll do first part of January as one of my videos. But yeah, I started doing that, and we'll continue to do that. Yeah. Converted 90% of my mobile to Sol a couple of weeks ago. That was well timed. Damn, dude, you and DJ, like, you guys have like the magic touch of the right things to do at the right time. Yeah. I'm thinking you guys did a deal with the devil, which is fine. You guys can do the deal with the devil. I just want to live vicariously through you by making some of the same moves. So of course I would have had to have bought a mobile device in order to be able to take advantage of that. But yeah, I missed that boat. I was on the helium sucks boat, but I'm going to continue to keep them running. But at least I got the benefit of the miners, although I do have one helium device that I'm not using currently, and I need to get that one up and running with both crank and helium, but I got to figure out where I'm going to put it. So yeah, I got to figure out where I'm going to put that thing. So anyway, I went over Texas. My Sol is black like my heart. Very funny. Very funny. All right, let's see what else. Helium sucks. Yeah, I know that you and Network Bits are both on that same train. And I'm not saying I'm a huge fan, especially with what they did the LoRaWAN side of things. But you know what? Sometimes you got to pivot. And so far, that pivot looks good. We'll see if it stays good, because LoRaWAN looked really good, and Helium was doing great as a result. I'm just kicking myself for having sold the Helium. I should have just held it. Should have just held it. I'm like, what am I going to do with this? And I was like, it was like the OCD part of me was like, I need to consolidate. Need to consolidate my coins into things I believe in. I didn't believe in Helium. Definitely learned a lesson there that if you have some stray coins, don't do anything with them. Just leave them. Leave them. They're nothing. They're not worth anything. So just let them be worth nothing. They're worth, a couple $100. What do you need that a couple $100 for? You never know what's going to happen. If that couple $100 goes to zero, oh well. But the possibility of it doubling, tripling, quadrupling, or 10 times, you don't want to miss out on that. So, not saying FOMO, but because you're not FOMOing, you have this. You're just not going to sell. And I'm not talking about the top of the bull run. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is in the bear run. Don't sell your stuff during the bear run to consolidate to something else. Stay diversified. That's what I learned during this bear run. And at some point during the bear run, I started to consolidate. Lesson learned. That's the thing. You learn lessons along the way, and as long as you take those lessons and learn from them, it's always a good thing. All right, let's see. You guys are, I meant to take that stupid thing off because I can't read some of these comments. Customization. Take off the darn live reactions. And the heart disappeared. There we go. I like that. Much better. Much cleaner. Now I can read. Vortex said, oh, well, 36 more 5700 XTs coming now. So I need to do the full gamut of clocks. Oh, hey, great content, if nothing else. And there's plenty of Kapow coins to pick from, which obviously AMD is best at. Much better than NVIDIA. You can get much more power efficiency out of them. I won't say that I regret buying or selling the 5700 XTs, but yeah, there's been times where I'm like, should I have done that? But I hope that Retro Mike is enjoying those 5700 XTs. Red Panda says, Overvortech had to buy more 5700 XTs than me, huh? Hey, those in the know will watch. We will watch. And here's the thing. I learned that streaming at the same time that's predictable makes a difference. It definitely makes a difference. I don't know when to look for your content. I don't know when you're going to go live. I like watching your stuff, but I like watching it when it's live, not watching the replays. A lot of people are like that. So, yeah, if I knew when you were going to go live, I might watch you more. Just my 2 cents. My 2 cents. Let's see. Overboard says, I'm too unpredictable for that. Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, certainly when you get the following like DJ, yeah, you can just decide to go live whenever you feel like it and people will just come. So, yeah. Anyway, does he have a consistent schedule? If so, when does he normally go live? I'd love to know, Retro Mike. Travel says, Overboard Tech. Awesome. I've changed all my rigs since you overclocked them. Oval clocked them. Sorry. Yeah, I can't read evidently today, as Sunflower Mama had already pointed out. All righty. Oh, I was looking at the screen and I was like, why do I have two like white things on either side? But that's because that's what's in the actual screenshot. So let me get out, stop the screen share so you can see my ugly self. Anyway, hope you guys are all enjoying the new background and such. Oh, let me check. Oh, really? It's so darn close. Anybody else want to vote? In is 53%, out is 47%. So I'm going to be like a city council. I'm going to keep bringing this up until it finally comes out to where the outs win. And then I'll be like, see, there was a vote and now it's out. Anyway, let's see if anybody else wants to vote. How many votes? I got 142 votes. So you guys are probably already voted already. But if you haven't, please get your vote in before I close that. Let's see. What would I need to swing that? I would need about 5 votes to go to in. I mean, sorry, to go to out in order to win that. Anyway, Gaming with Smokey Dan, vote in for the win. Keep it sealed. It's not going to be a collector's item, people. It's not going to be a collector's item. It's just not. I suppose maybe in like 2032, I'll have 150,000 followers, and then I can do it as a giveaway, and then it'll be worth something. I know Crypto KJ resale value is greater if it's kept in the box. I'm not gonna resell this. I might give it away at some point, but I'm definitely not gonna resell it. And if it's to be given away, it's gonna be given away much further in the future. Tyson Coin said, take him out. Well, like I said, you guys have all voted because I haven't seen any new votes come up. Ryan Reynolds, what? Where did Ryan Reynolds? Damn it, Ryan Reynolds trying to scam. Oh, was there like a video that advertisement that came up?
It's already been out of the box once because I had to paint it.
Oh, it's already been out of the box once because she had to paint it. So there's no problem with that. There you go. Yes, it's 1 of 1, so it's already a rare collector's item. Well, that tells me it's coming out of the box, people. It's coming out of the box. It's a Sunflower Mama original. Makes it even more valuable. So, do me a favor and put that next to the Misfit mining thing. She's being very careful with it. Just if that makes you feel any better. There he is. You gotta do that. There we go. Her fine work. All right. Go ahead and put it. Yeah, it's got the hairline. Definitely has the hairline. Put it back there. There we go. What, does he not like to stand up? Oh, okay. He literally had to lean him up against the Misfit mining thing. So, alrighty. So yes. Thanks for clarifying that. Oh, well, that'll be for another day. What time? Oh yeah, we gotta leave by. I gotta make sure we start leaving so that we can still get down there when it's light out, so that we get Hive Mapper miles. So alrighty, guys. Well, thank you guys all for being here. I do appreciate it. You guys have been wonderful, and I will see you all next Monday. I may go live tomorrow. Haven't decided yet for sure, but probably will. Maybe even put out a video this week, maybe a short this week. We shall see. It's not 2024 yet, so that New Year's resolution doesn't start yet. But anyway, you're propping up Misfit mining. Yes, I'm propping up Misfit mining. That's exactly what my Funko doll is doing. So, alrighty, guys, I gotta run. Thanks again for everything. Appreciate it. And you guys all have a wonderful day. General is out.